I'm Adam Marcell for Pro Football Weekly, along with our draft expert Nolan Nawrocki, taking a look at Nolan's mock draft version 4.0, presented by Verizon Fios. And Nolan, let's take a look first at the top 5. A.J. Green still going number 1 to Carolina. Number 2, the Denver Broncos. We've heard quarterback maybe going here. Every level at defense possibly going. What are you hearing with the Broncos pick?
I think they feel comfortable with Kyle Orton at quarterback, and quarterback is just a smokescreen. I think they'd like to trade back into the teens, and the guy that I think teams are going to be most interested in coming up for is defensive end Von Miller.
Now, number 3, Cam Newton, maybe the biggest name in this draft, the most controversial name in this draft. You have him going number 3 to Buffalo. Why?
Well, I think they're an organization that wants to win right now. You got a 71-year-old GM and a 92-year-old owner, Ralph Wilson. And I think they want to find a player that can provide that spark immediately. And Cam Newton's definitely a guy that can do it.
Moving on, number 4 and 5, we see some of the same picks. Julio Jones, Blaine Gabbert going to Arizona. Now 6 through 10, Robert Quinn going to the Browns. Number 7, the Niners get the cornerback I think they want in Patrick Peterson. Let's move down to number 9, Marcell Dareus, a guy that you had number 1 overall at one point, now sliding all the way down. Why is that?
I think teams do have legitimate concerns about the support structure. How's he going to react to a big payday? I think that's taken some momentum out of his status, and it could allow him to fall all the way to number 9. If he's sitting there, I think Jerry Jones would swoop him up in a minute, knowing that he's a great value and fills a prominent need as well.
Guess you go with that best player available. It's hard to argue with Dareus there. Number 10, Prince Amukamara. We've seen him earlier in the first at times. 11, Jimmy Smith to Houston. Kind of a surprise there, a guy you've had some character concerns with. Why do you see him going to the Texans?
I think the Texans definitely need to address that cornerback position. There's only a couple in this draft, and after they lose out on both Prince Amukamara and Peterson, Jimmy's a guy that's going to get pushed up a lot higher than he should. Teams do still have concerns about the character, but he really fits what Wade Phillips likes to do on defense, and he could wind up going a lot higher than he should.
Yeah, talent, I guess, wins out there. The concerns around character take a back seat. Number 12, Tyron Smith, the top tackle in the draft, going to the Vikings. You look at number 15, Mike Pouncey. Some have seen him maybe going to Pittsburgh or the Giants, now moving all the way up. Let's look at 16, the Jacksonville Jaguars. J.J. Watt, we've seen a bunch of different defensive players going in your other mock drafts to the Jags. Why Watt?
I think they want a player that they can plug in right away and make a difference. He's a guy that can bring a spark to the locker room. He's going to elevate the player, his teammates, and he's a guy that just really fits what they want to do.
At 17, New England, you have him taking an offensive lineman. That could be a trade. You never quite know with them. The Giants get another running back in Mark Ingram. Ahmad Bradshaw, questions there. Now let's move all the way down to 23. The Philadelphia Eagles, Daquan Bowers, a guy that was number 1 on your list at one point, now sliding all the way down into the 20s. The Eagles, what do you think, how happy would they be?
I think they'd love it if they had a chance to get him, put him on injured reserve if they have to, and let him come back next year. They got Victor Abiamari coming back from injured reserve, and they got enough talent on that roster to feel comfortable taking a chance on a player like Bowers.
It'd be hard to argue getting a guy that was first overall, number 1 on your big board and in the mock draft, getting all the way down in the 20s. We see Marvin Austin has climbed into the first round of your pick with Seattle. Looking at 27, Aaron Williams, the Falcons get the cornerback that they want. Now 28, the Patriots with their second first-round pick. You have them taking Andy Dalton. I don't think Tom Brady is really worried. This is probably a pick they're going to trade.
Yeah, I think it's going to go to the highest bidder, and the team that wants that quarterback, I think, is going to come up right here. Jake Locker's a guy that could get looks, but I think Andy Dalton's got a legitimate chance to be the number 3 quarterback drafted. This guy's got great intangibles, and he could easily fit into the back of the first round.
Certainly was a winner in college. We've seen his stock rising. Surprising, though, to see Jake Locker slip out of the first round. Though it seems like any of these last few picks, 29 through 32, may be an area that some of those teams that didn't get quarterbacks in the first round could jump back in and get a quarterback there via trade. We appreciate it, Nolan. For Nolan's entire mock draft, make sure to check it out at ProFootballWeekly.com.